Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of AT Fins News. Today, we're going to be previewing our upcoming matchup against the Houston Texans this Sunday. So let's just get right into it. Let's start off talking about our injury report. I'm sure you all are aware that Devontae Parker was placed on the IR, so he's going to be missing at minimum the next 3 games, which shouldn't come as any surprise to any of our fans because throughout his career, he's often injured and rarely available for this team. I mean, and it really hurts our offense because he's the best 50-50 ball receiver we have. He can go up and get the ball even if the DV is all over him. So that's going to affect Tua's ability to throw the ball downfield for sure. Of course, we're still missing Will Fuller. He's only been played 1 game this year. It seems like he's kind of checked out since the beginning of the year. So we're not going to expect anything out of him really this year. So it looks like our receivers are going to be shorthanded. So hopefully Mike Gesicki, hopefully maybe some Matt Collins, Jalen Waddle, of course. I hope they can make some plays tomorrow and get this crucial victory. I mean, I know we're 1-7. I know the season's pretty much over, but the thing that I'm dreading, I want to get some victories piled up here. I don't want to give the Eagles, gift them pretty much a top 5 pick. Let's start getting some victories on the board, and it starts this Sunday. And at least make that pick about 10 or 11. I don't want to see the Eagles drafting number 2, which they are right now. So let's get these victories, man. And then coming from the Houston Texans side of it, they reactivated Tyrod Taylor from the IR, so it looks like he's going to be starting this Sunday against us, and it's really not good news for the Miami Dolphins. Throughout his career, he owns a 5-2 record against us. He's thrown for 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he's completing passes at a 70% clip against us. So the main key to victory, we're going to have to stop Tyrod Taylor. We're going to have to be disciplined as our pass rush. We can't give up open lanes to him to escape the pocket and run for crucial first downs. We're going to have to play man-to-man. We're going to have to blitz him. We're going to have to make him uncomfortable in the pocket and get a little flustered out there. Because it seems like every time he plays us, he's in a comfort zone and he eats our defense up. So, I mean, as you all are aware, like I stated before, we're 1-7. The season's pretty much over. It's time to see, or the main thing for us to see is Tua's development. That's what everyone wants to see. That's why our fan base is so divided. We need to see his improvement. I'm expecting Tua to have a pretty decent game. The Houston Texans defense isn't that good, and I think they have the 31st rated rush defense in the league. So I think it starts with us running the ball. We got to feed Myles Gaskins. He's averaging 4 yards a carry, so let's just feed him the ball. And what that's going to do, it's going to open up the offense for Tua. We can do some play action, get those linebackers to bite, and then that opens up the seam down the middle. Maybe to hit Watt or Gesicki down the seam. Just like last week when we had success running the ball against the Bills, you can see Trayvon Edmonds from the Bills and the other linebacker. Once Tua put it in Myles Gaskin's chest, they would bite up and he would do an RPO. I mean, that's what I think the key to victory is for offense to be sustainable. I think we need to rush the ball, get them at their weakness, and then open up the play action game after that to help Tua out and make easier throws for him. What I also want to see from this team in a whole is, can we play complementary football this week? We haven't seen it once all year. I mean, it's time to get the ball rolling. I want our defense to play well, hold the Texans, and then our offense takes the field and goes down the field and puts up touchdowns, as well as our special teams. No one's talking about that, but our special teams have been horrible this year. When it comes to Jason Sanders, he's missed field goals that he normally never misses. So, I mean, we just need all 3 phases of the game to show up to get this W, man. We need to get the ball rolling here. I do not want to see the Philadelphia Eagles drafting number 2 overall knowing that was our pick because how bad our season is. So let's pile up some victories now, man, and at least make that pick 11 or 12 instead of top 5. I mean, that's just that'll just kill me, man. So let's get some wins. It starts this Sunday. We get that win. I mean, no one's expecting us to beat the Ravens, but then we have winnable games coming up after that. We got the Jets twice still. We still got the Giants. Those teams aren't that good. We can get some victories and make this season at least salvageable in the sense of not having a top 5 draft that we're just gifting to the Eagles. So that's what I'm looking forward to at least. I mean, and another thing, in order to win this game, we're going to have to be disciplined, man. And that it goes back to, it makes no sense that last year we were one of the most disciplined teams in the entire NFL. We would win games because other teams would beat themselves because they were undisciplined. They would have horrible penalties and in the wrong times. But this year, I mean, we're the ones that are giving up dumb penalties in the worst times. We stop a team's offense on third down just to be neglected because of roughing the passer or hands to the face or holding on the defense. So it's an automatic first down. Or when we're on offense, we'll get a big run or a big play by Tua, but it gets called back because there's a holding. So we just got to be disciplined, man. I mean, and I don't understand how that changes from one year to the next, where we are the most disciplined team to now the most undisciplined team. And that falls back on coaching. The coaching has to be firing on all cylinders. Brian Flores needs to rally the troops, get them believing, playing hard-nosed football, and let's pull out this win, man. The Houston Texans are not trying to win football games. They're trying to lose and go out and get a quarterback. They don't even have Deshaun Watson. They've been trying to trade him. We almost traded for him. And coming in the offseason, they're going to get rid of him. So they're not trying to win football games. They're trying to tank. They're trying to get a number 1 or number 2 pick, get their own quarterback, and build from there. And then on our side, everyone can say, well, let's just tank and we'll get a good pick. But like I just said, we don't even own our first-round pick. So there's no point for us to lose games. We're trying to win. Our team's trying to win games to build for the future at least. So I expect us to go out and be fired up after losing 7 straight and prove a point against these Texans. They're not a better football team than us. I mean, not saying that we're anything special. Obviously, we're 1-7. We both have the same records, but for all the people saying that it's because we don't have talent on this team. We have more talent than the Houston Texans do. I mean, we don't have elite players really, but we have talented football players. We got X on the defense, Byron Jones, even though some people think that he's not all that, he's talented. We got Javon Holland, even though he's a rookie, he's been coming of age. We need Jalen Phillips. It's not even on Jalen Phillips, I don't think. Jalen Phillips is really talented. He's a great pass rusher, but we need to stop putting him in concepts where he's covering the field. He's in zone defense. He needs to put his hand in the dirt and pass rush 90% of the time. We don't need him to be covering the flats. His specialty is pass rushing. He should have 6-7 sacks by now. And he has a motor for days. So we need to put his hand in the dirt 90% of the time and have him get after that quarterback. And then on the offensive side, I mean, Myles Gaskins is a pretty good running back. A lot of people say he's not a bow cow. I get that. He's a smaller back, but man, he runs hard. He has good vision. He's averaging 4 yards a carry. We just need to consistently run the ball and have emphasis running the ball, not run the ball good for a couple series and then get away from it. I know we get away from it at times and later in the game because obviously we're trailing, so we have to pass to try to score quickly. But from snap one, I would love to see them make a true emphasis on running the ball for the entirety of the game instead of having to pass the ball because we're trailing. I mean, we also have Jalen Waddle. He's better than any of their receivers. I like me some Matt Collins, man. He can make plays when they give him the opportunity. I know Devontae Parker's out. I know Will Fuller's not there. But we still have enough to beat these Texans when they're not even trying to win the game. They're trying to tank to get a top pick so they can get their quarterback and move on from Deshaun Watson after this season's over. I'm really not going to be predicting the score. All I care about is getting a victory. Just win. And if we lose this game, something has to change. A coach has to be fired. Somebody, because there's no reason why a team from last year went 10-6 and then come back this year and be one of the worst teams in the league. That cannot happen. I understand going 10-6, and then this year there's 17 games, so going 10-7, or even if because of injuries or whatever excuses people want to make, they fall off a little bit and go 9-8. It should not be a team that's 1-7 and then the previous year they were 10-6. You can't have that big of a drop off. So if we cannot go out and beat the Houston Texans tomorrow, someone has to go. Either they clean house, or some coordinator has to go, because do we really trust this organization or this regime to go into off season and pick the right players in the draft? Because with all the assets we've already had, I mean, 5 first-round picks? I mean, we really haven't done anything with the resources we had, and that's what's killing this team. I mean, we could have... I don't even want to get into what players we could have drafted instead of the players that we did. But, man, there was talented players out there, especially when you have first-round draft picks, and they couldn't make it happen, man. So do we really trust this coaching staff and this GM to go into next off season after how bad we fouled this year to just turn it around and all of a sudden know how to draft? So we have to win this game. We have to salvage some part of this season. I remember in 2019, I believe, we started with the same record, but we had half the talent we have this year, and we're in the same position again. So it has to be salvaged, and if we don't beat the Texans, there has to be changes made, even before the offseason. We just got to clean house and hope that the people that they bring in can evaluate talent and have better player development than the guys we have right now. But that's all I have for you guys tonight. I hope that, like I said, I hope we can pull out this much-needed victory, get the bad 7-game skid off this team, and finally go in the right direction. So you guys have a good night. You guys stay blessed, and peace. Fins up.